Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy RB3 for First Cut. You're probably gonna see this hoodie in a few different reviews because I'm filming a bunch of reviews back to back. That's just how we do it. That's how you schedule the time, do a bunch of reviews, knock them all out all at once, because I'm a busy person and sometimes I forget to review the things that I watch. But we're trying to get more consistent here on First Cut. Awards contender, heavy awards contender, Hamnet, directed by Chloé Zhao, starring Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal, and also a supporting performance from Emily Watson, which is good to see her too. This movie basically follows the story of William Shakespeare and his wife as they are kind of falling in love, get to being in love. They have a child together. They have a few children together. And while William is away writing plays in London and everything, this movie centrally focuses on Jessie Buckley's character and her journey through motherhood and raising the children. By the way, Jessie Buckley's character is Agnes, who is William Shakespeare's wife, Agnes. Unfortunately, there's a series of tragedies that happen over the course of their family's life. And some of those tragedies end up inspiring the world-famous plays that we end up knowing today, particularly Hamlet. That's right. This movie is named Hamnet. You know, Hamlet is the play that William Shakespeare wrote, and Hamnet is the name of one of the children, William Shakespeare's only son, who was played by Jacobi Jupe, who is actually the little brother of Noah Jupe, who's playing the lead role of Hamlet in the play version of the film. I know it's kind of all over the place. I'm trying to say what the movie's about without particularly spoiling a lot of the big emotional beats that happen in this film. Unfortunately, the trailer does give away the entire movie. So if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll say don't watch it. Kind of go into it fresh. It's based on a novel, and of course it's based on the true story of William Shakespeare. Now, I'm not a Shakespeare head, so I don't know how accurate this film really truly is to the lore of Shakespeare. If, like, this is how it really all went down. If there's some fictionalization going on, I have no idea. I will say that the movie in and of itself was absolutely moving. For one, I mean, the production design and the cinematography, everything on the technical level is absolute perfection. I mean, we already know Chloé Zhao is an Academy Award-winning director, and we see that for a reason. Every single frame, every single detail, every single moment on screen is breathtaking, is awe-inspiring, is gorgeous, is vibrant. Vibrant's not the right word, but it's rich, and just a gorgeous film to look at overall. And of course, when you got A-list talent like Jessie Buckley, who is currently the front runner to win Best Actress at the Academy Awards for this role, and Paul Mescal, who's already, if I'm not mistaken, he's already won an Oscar. If he hasn't already won, he's been nominated multiple times. He also has an amazing, amazing performance in this film as well, playing William Shakespeare. Again, I'm not a Shakespeare head, so I don't know how true or how good or how real this performance is, but just taking it by my taste, I thought it was pretty good. Now, again, both of these performers are amazing and they do amazing work in this movie, but there are some moments that are a little much. There's some tiny, tiny moments in the film that kind of happen that feel a little over the top for these performers. And, you know, as a director myself, I get it. Like, as a director, sometimes I'm on set and I'll say, hey, let's do a take. Let's do the 10 out of 10 take. Let's do the 11 out of 10 take. Let's go the overacting take. So then you might use a line or a segment from that take, not the whole take, but some pieces of it. Now, but with this movie, there are multiple long takes. There are multiple sequences that take place largely in like one shot. So you don't really cut away from those super maxed out over the top performances. So sometimes there are scenes where there are, you know, it feels over the top. And again, it's one thing when you see that overacting situation happen in like a line or one scene or one moment. But in this film, there's just like one particular block that happens really at like from like the 30 to 40 minute mark, where it was just like one scene felt like it was too much. Then two scenes, then three scenes. And now we're like halfway through the fourth scene. I'm like, dang, is this good acting? Like, I don't know. I think they're kind of milking this a lot. But then the movie subsides. They kind of fade from that moment. I promise you, out of a 2-hour and 15-minute movie, there's maybe 10 minutes of overacting. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. There's like a birth sequence that happens in the woods. That was crazy. And then it goes to Shakespeare being kind of drunk and having this moment. That was crazy. All of those sequences in that particular block of the movie felt very out of character and almost didn't even feel like the same movie. But then we go back to the more beautiful, nuanced, amazing stuff that we've seen all throughout before and after in that point in the story. On the positive side, the story is absolutely moving. Hamnet is a story that definitely will make you cry, make you feel emotional from how deeply you feel connected to this family and to this life that they're building. And then, if you love Hamlet or if you've read Shakespeare, you kind of get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes of his creative process. A little bit. They don't really show that much of it. The film is mostly centered on the perspective of Jessie Buckley's character, Agnes. But yeah, the overacting just stands out when everything is just so perfect. It just really kind of takes a big impact. The acting thing is more of a nitpick, but my real personal criticism in this movie comes in the third act, where we spend an enormous amount of time getting to the actual play of Hamlet, which this is, the origin story of, I suppose. And I get it. We're seeing how the influences of the life influence this movie. But at a certain point, the movie just becomes us watching a play on screen, which was kind of weird. And then on top of that, they end the movie on one particular song that is, I swear to goodness, has been used in every single movie, or not every single movie, but has been used so many times it's basically meme level. Now, I'm actually going to touch on that in this video right here, because it's a whole separate thing and it's copyright, and I'm going to break that down in more of a video essay style. But for Hamlet, overall, production design strong, costume strong, dialogue and story absolutely phenomenal. It's that flowery Victorian era dialogue that, I'm kind of here on there on, but it is Shakespeare, so it kind of makes sense for that time period. And of course, they're going to be talking extra flowery because, he's Shakespeare. That's, he's a writer. So it's like, of course, a lot of that dialogue is going to be there, but it's great. It's good. The story's great, emotional. The acting is mostly great 90% of the time. There is just that 10 to 15 minute block where it did feel like too much just in that one segment. Maybe it was like the first day of shooting or something. I don't know. But just that one segment felt a little too much. But yeah, acting 9 out of 10. Production design 10 out of 10, cinematography 10 out of 10, costumes, makeup, all the technical aspects 10 out of 10, direction, shot composition 10 out of 10. But the fact that we had to spend the whole last 20 to 30 some minutes watching a play kind of dragged it down for me. And then playing that one song that they played at the end of this really just was like, come on, y'all really are kind of being a little cheap with it at this point, being cheap with the emotions. So with all that in mind, this movie really kind of lands at like a 7 out of 10 for me. And this is somebody, I love Chloé Zhao, by the way. Like, I love Eternals. I've always loved Eternals since the day it came out. I also really love No Man's Land, which I'm very glad that won Best Picture and she won Best Director for. I also love all of her other films that she did. Her not older, but like, the movies that are like more Western fashion that are, just about people riding horses. Like she had that one with the lady riding a horse and learning how to ride the horse. And then it was with the real guy who actually got injured. Like Chloé Zhao's filmography is just phenomenal if you haven't taken a deep exploration of it. But this one, yeah, when it gets to that part, I guess I'm just really hung up on that song. So again, if you want to see me break down why this particular song playing in that movie, click this video right here and go right over there because this whole thing is going to be copyrighted. Peace out, y'all.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a club laugh.